Bit of fail there on the intro there, guys. I haven't plugged myself while I was doing that. I tried to do an intro. It backfired. But anyway, I am here. It is time. You know what time it is. It's the Raw Review. My name is Anthony Walker. Welcome to this video there. A little fail on the intro there, but I'll give you something to laugh about, a little entertainment there. But, yeah, Monday Night Raw took place last night. But before we get into that, guys, I just want to quick something out. Last week, I got told by somebody who I talk with, wrestling and everything, that there was a lot of lag on the last week's episode that I did. But that might be connection problems. That might be, you know, bad internet and whatever it is you guys are doing. I always look back on the videos and they've always worked for me. The only time that there's always been a problem is if the connection clunks out and this goes off air. So I don't know, you know, what it's all about, but I'm not recording this on my main laptop. I'm doing this on my other laptop right now. So I'm on my Sony Windows 7 computer. I'm going to upgrade it to Windows 10 eventually. But I'm on this right now, as you can see. This is my second laptop. Hopefully you guys are getting a better view of what it is or whatever it is I'm doing or whatever. Hopefully it's all good and what it is and there's no lags and everything. I'm just trying to improve. From what I'm seeing right now, as I'm seeing this, it seems all right. You know, is it better? I mean, webcams are not the best thing that you've got on your laptop, guys. Webcams are not the best thing in the world at all. Okay, that's why I'm on the verge. I'm inquiring about getting another webcam, like something I can hook on to the thing, so I can do it from there instead of using the inbuilt webcams that I'm using on my laptops. But you know, I work with what I got at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys like it and enjoy it and express your opinions. And like I say, if you guys are watching this and there's any lags, please let me know, or any problems, feel free to let me know, and I will work on it to the best that I can until I get my webcam, which I'm very much getting, but I'm trying to pick out the best one that works best for me, okay? Because there's a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap ones out there. I've done my research. I've looked them up on Google. There's a lot of rubbish ones out there, but I want to get the one that works, okay? I'm inquiring about it. Hopefully I'll have one in the coming months. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the Raw review. January 11th from last night. Next night's Monday Night Raw, which took place in New Orleans, which saw the return of the Beast, Brock Lesnar, the animal. Fuck Batista, okay? Brock Lesnar's the animal, okay? I don't give a damn what people say, oh yeah, Brock Batista's the animal. No. Batista ain't shit when it comes to Brock Lesnar. Let me just say that right now. But in any event, Raw kicked off with, I'll get the out the way points. Raw kicked off with McMahon and Stephanie stirring the shit up with Roman Reigns, their world champion. They don't like the fact that he's world champion. Stephanie doesn't like the fact that he's world champion because of TLC. Roman Reigns beat the fuck out of Triple H. And McMahon doesn't like the fact that not only did he beat his son-in-law up, he Superman punched him to win the world title from Sheamus. At the end of the day, it was just another good old-fashioned authority promo. Don't know if it was 20 minutes, don't really care. But the only thing that came up from it was McMahon put Roman Reigns in a 1 versus all main event, which I'll get to later on. To start off, Sheamus and Dean Ambrose. Now, Sheamus and Dean Ambrose, these two could have a fight. And it was just an epic fight. Nothing big out of it. But, yeah. Kevin Owens got involved as I expected. Kevin Owens to get involved. And this feud between him and Dean Ambrose over the Intercontinental Championship is not over. And I think Kevin's made it very, very clear that he will not stop until he gets Dean Ambrose and gets that Intercontinental title back. Dean Ambrose went to the emergency room but walked right into his girlfriend, Renee Young. Yes, they are dating, ladies and gentlemen. They are going out with each other, but, you know, kayfabe bullshit and all that. and says that he will not die. You know, he's still living and breathing. You know, he's still got a pulse. He's still alive. He's not dead. And that is bad news for Kevin Owens. So that feud is not over. The next match was Stardust and Titus O'Neil. Stardust gets beat again by Titus O'Neil. This time he attacks Titus on the outside as Titus was having a bit of greeting the fans and everything, greeting one of the fans at ringside, and then Stardust attacks him. Could somebody explain to me what this feud's about? Or this is about with Titus and Stardust? I mean, I don't get it. I really do not get it one bit. It's like, what the fuck kind of thing, I mean, somebody must have had a bad day going into this feud, but anyway, or coming up with this feud, at least. I'll say this quickly right now. I think Charlotte was on the verge of going into a match with, I believe it was Brie Bella or Alicia Fox. It was somebody. I believe it was Brie Bella because, let's face it, Alicia Fox couldn't hang with Charlotte anyway. So Brie, the replacement leader for the for Team Bella, at least, believed she was going to go one-on-one with Charlotte. That was until Becky Lynch attacked Charlotte from ringside. And obviously that didn't sit well with Ric Flair, and obviously that didn't sit well with Charlotte because Charlotte wasn't expecting it. It's far from done with her and Becky. And will that ever exist in the female world? Who knows? But at the moment right now, there's beef between Charlotte and Becky, and it seems that Charlotte, according to Becky, has broke a promise. Maybe that will never happen. We'll see. After the Titus and Stardust match, I just thought I'd get that one out the way. After the Titus O'Neil and Stardust match, Usos went up against in the non-title match against the New Day. All thanks to the fallout from the highlight reel with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho challenged New Day, and New Day had no choice but to accept. And thanks to a little bit of help from Chris, the New Day lose and the Usos win, which I don't have a problem with. The only problem I have with the Usos is the fact that they are Tag Team of the Year at the Slammy Awards. Tag Team of the Year from the Slammy Awards for being out for 6 months. Don't make sense whatsoever. Stupid thing. My bad on that one, guys. That was a little bit of a thing. Yes, I was watching something on YouTube there. But yeah, I mean, that's the only problem I have with the Usos. Just doesn't make sense. How can you be Tag Team of the Year when you were out for 6 months? It makes no sense. It just makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, they must have kissed a lot of butt to get them Slammy Awards. But anyway, my favorite part of the match, and thank you, Chris Jericho, for this. Chris Jericho manages to get out of that trombone that Xavier Woods carries it around. Xavier Woods tries to cause a distraction, comes off the apron, turns around. Jericho blows the trombone right in his face and then breaks it. So no more trombone. And for that, the New Day lose the match, like I say, and the Usos will probably get a tag title shot somewhere down the road. Thank you, Chris Jericho. And I like I've said many, many times, and like I said on the podcast, Max Wrestling Podcast, and I'll say it right now, the New Day can kiss my ass. They can kiss my big, white, Northeast ass. I do not like the New Day. I have no love for the New Day. I respect them as talent, but this gimmick they've got and everything, it is an absolute joke. Just my opinion. The Wyatt family came out, assert their dominance, but the social outcasts, which are Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, Heath Slater, and Curtis Axel came out and grew a set basically and challenged them to a match, challenged the Wyatts for a match. Braun Strowman basically took care of them all by himself. That was until Ryback came out and got involved and wanted some of the Wyatts. All leading into the Royal Rumble, guys. All leading into the Royal Rumble. It is what it is at the end of the day. But will the social outcasts work? Nah, I don't see it. It's like the social outcasts are like 3MB. 4-man job squad. That's what they are. If these get a push, it's unbelievable. But saying that, Dolph Ziggler jobbed to them the other week. Well, jobbed to Heath Slater the other week, which was a complete joke. So where these are going, these social outcasts, I don't know. But no doubt all 4 of them will be in the Royal Rumble. Also, courtesy of what happened on SmackDown, and like I said, a very good SmackDown, I must admit, Alberto Del Rio had to put his US title on the line against Kalisto. And just like on SmackDown, shocking moment of 2016, Kalisto is the new United States champion. It shocked me. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think they were going to put the title belt on Kalisto. Kalisto is promoted as the new Rey Mysterio from what I'm hearing. It's hard not to disagree with that, quite frankly. But yeah. As far as the series of matches goes, Del Rio is 0 for 2 with Kalisto. And like I said, Kalisto is the brand new WWE United States Heavyweight Champion. Question is, how long for? Because this coming week on SmackDown, the rematch is taking place. So obviously Kalisto's got to defend the title against a very pissed off, angry Alberto Del Rio. Will he retain it? Anything can happen, and I'm not counting Kalisto out. I guess we'll find out on SmackDown. And finally, the 1 versus all match, which saw the 1 versus all match with Roman Reigns against the entire roster, which also was in a no contest. A lot of no contests on this Raw, to be honest, which is very, very displeasing, to be honest. The match went on. Roman Reigns did his thing, and then they all came in and attacked him. New Day came in and attacked him. Kevin Owens got involved, but the Beast came out, Brock Lesnar, and Brock throughout the night got Paul Heyman to try and convince the McMahons, Stephanie and Vince, to grant his wish that Brock Lesnar would meet the WWE World Heavyweight Champion or the winner of the Rumble at WrestleMania for the title. Wish didn't come to fruition, quite frankly. And like I said, man, I wish people would just grant Brock Lesnar's wish. Why would you want to piss off a beast? If I was running WWE and he came up, or you sent Paul Heyman to come up, I just grant him his wish. I said, here, fuck it, you can have your thing. Because when he doesn't get his wish or doesn't get what he wants, he goes out and completely raises hell. You know, he came out and everybody thought he was going to join forces with New Day and Kevin Owens and that, and Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. He didn't. He basically mopped the floor with all of them. Clotheslines Kofi and Xavier Woods, suplexes Big E, suplexes Sheamus, suplexes Alberto Del Rio, and even suplexed Kevin Owens, which is what people wanted to see, Brock Lesnar versus Kevin Owens. So we got a little taste of it there. But, you know, people don't give him what he wants. But then he ended up F5ing Roman Reigns, the world champion. Makes a statement. He wants that world title back. Question is, will he get it? I would probably think that the Beast will be in the Royal Rumble. What's going to happen at WrestleMania? There's all this thing that I predicted Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. He will retain the title. He's only just won it at the thing. I can't see them having it drop the title, and he'll be the first man to win the Royal Rumble, defending the championship. I don't know where this is going to go. There's talk of a Triple H. There's a Triple H and Roman Reigns down the pipeline. You can see it coming a mile away. Triple H ain't going to stand for that. Maybe it'll be Triple H and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But there's also talk of Rock versus Triple H at WrestleMania. The only thing that I can predict right now, there's all these ideas of what's going to happen at WrestleMania, but the only thing that I can predict at this point in time is who's going to face The Undertaker, because it was meant to be John Cena. But John Cena's out for injury, and his surgery took place, and he seems to be all is good in the John Cena camp. But, yeah, a lot of questions answered between now and the Royal Rumble and now in WrestleMania. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, before I get to my Raw rating, I've had an idea from a colleague of mine at work. I'm a steward at Middlesbrough Football Club, and I might be doing a podcast on the Royal Rumble. Now, the question is, I don't know what to do. Should I do the whole show, or should I do the whole show, or should I do the Royal Rumble match itself? But a colleague of mine suggests do the Royal Rumble match. I don't know how that's going to pan out. So look out for that in upcoming podcasts. And if I have more information, subscribe to the channel for more information on that. And I'll let you know in due time. But all in all, guys, Raw rating, I'm going to give it a 5 for me. 2 good things that happened: Chris Jericho breaking that damn trombone and basically shoving it up Xavier Woods' rear end, and Xavier Woods crying like if he was Kel Kimball from Keenan and Kel. And the other main happy moment, the best part of Raw, I'll talk about in a second. But all in all, it was just an average Raw for me. I mean, no content. There was about, if I'm not mistaken, there was one. I think it was about, there was a no contest. There was about two no contests and 1 disqualification or double count out. I believe that's double count out. I don't want to see that. So all in all, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 and a 3 out of 5 for me. There was only 2 things that got my attention on Raw. One of them was Chris Jericho breaking that damn trombone and shoving it up Xavier Woods' ass. The other one is what I'm going to talk about right now, guys. Dallas, Texas, WrestleMania 32. WrestleMania 32, the night before in the Hall of Fame, the icon, Sting, is in the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. Obviously, that was part of the deal when he signed for WWE in the first place, to do a season, to do a year of matches, get injured at Night of Champions, but then also be in the Hall of Fame. That was obviously part of the deal, and WWE have granted it. And WWE Hall of Fame, night before WrestleMania 32, Sting takes his rightful place in the Hall of Fame, and I think he's the only guy or the only wrestler that's in the TNA Hall of Fame and the WWE Hall of Fame. I might be wrong on that, but I believe that is so. I mean, where do I begin with Sting? He was the blonde, young guy in the early 90s, late 80s. He became, the NWO's worst nightmare from 97, 96 onwards. And then he joined the Wolfpack. What hasn't he done in WCW? He was the backbone. He was to WCW what John Cena is to WWE, except he was better. Simple as that. He could have had the chances to succeed anywhere else, like in WWE or anywhere else. He never did. The only place he went was TNA. Out of that, he's been in 3 companies: WWE, TNA, WWE. That's all. He was loyal to WCW. He was loyal to TNA for his tenure there as well. And night before WrestleMania 32, he takes his rightful place in the Hall of Fame. And like I say, I think he's the only man that's in the TNA Hall of Fame and the WWE Hall of Fame at the same time. I might be wrong on that one, but I believe that's true. The only thing that would make it sweet right now is to put The Undertaker in there. Because Undertaker needs to be in there too. Okay? Let's get The Undertaker in. I don't care if it's his last WrestleMania. I don't care if he's got another couple of years left in him, which I highly doubt he has. But he needs to be in the Hall of Fame right now. We need The Undertaker in this Hall of Fame. There's a lot of people. I can give you a list of a lot of people that should be in the Hall of Fame, quite frankly. You know, Undertaker, British Bulldog, Rick Rude, for Pete's sake. You know, there's a lot of people. I can give you a list. I can give you a list as big as a Christmas list of who should be in the Hall of Fame. But Sting's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm very pleased with that. Now you need to put The Undertaker in WWE. You need to do that. Whether he's got another year, 2 years left in, it don't matter. You need The Undertaker. It's in Dallas, Texas, his home state. Let's get him in. Yes, Sting's in there, and that's going to draw more people. That's going to draw people in, you know, wanting to sell, you know, selling tickets for the show. That's going to draw people in to see that, because that's going to be interesting as well. But what would draw a lot of people in is if you put the home state boy, Texas boy himself, The Undertaker, in there. He needs to be in there. He needs to be in there now. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch, or even having the time to watch. If you didn't see this on the stream, don't worry, it's going to be up on YouTube at some point. Like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Comment me, get me on Twitter at Tony_Walker. For more information on the Wrestling Matters podcast, at WMPodcast, theAnthonyWalker.net, my website. Yes, I've got a Wix website coming as well, but I'm in the process of creating that. I just haven't had time to get back on it yet because I've been busy. Hopefully I can get some help with that this coming week. Daz, I'm off this Saturday. It is Tuesday now. I'm off Saturday. You've been dying to get me on the podcast for a couple of weeks, pal. Since I was last on. You've been dying to get me on, but work commitments have always coming away. I'm off this Saturday, just to let you know, okay? But all in all, guys, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week for another Raw review. And if I don't see you this week, I'll see you next week. Peace out.